Hey there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in the beautiful Nashville studios, and I've got a new product to show you that's pretty cool and pretty interesting. It is the new Holosun SCS Carry. Keyword carry. The SCS has been around for a while. It's an open red dot reticle, open in a sense that it's not enclosed, and that's what the carry signifies. If you look at this real close, you'll see that the red dot reticle that actually projects on the glass is enclosed in a box which protects the reticle from dirt and dust, even water, that could potentially obscure the reticle that actually projects onto the glass. So the enclosed concept was first introduced with the EPS Carry. And that's what I carry in my personal Glock 43X with the EPS Carry optic. Now the EPS Carry has the same footprint as the 507K, as well as the EPS, as well as this new SCS Carry. So they all use the 507K footprint, which is very important for this conversation, because I want to show you a couple options on how you can actually mount it to your particular Glock. The other thing about the SCS Carry is it's a little smaller, okay, as far as the overall look of it, the overall size of it, which makes it better for concealed carry. So hence they, Holosun, have packaged this specifically for the G43X. In fact, they give you a plate with it to allow you to mount it directly to the gun with it, no modifications whatsoever. So here is a Glock 43X MOS, all right? The MOS meaning the modular optic system. This is a plate. I've already removed the two screws. It comes straight out. And there's the MOS, what I call footprint or cutout, all right? You'll notice it has 4 posts, 1, 2, 3, 4. The sight itself, both the 507K or the EPS Carry or the new SCS Carry, will not fit directly onto that because these 2 front posts interfere with it. Or excuse me, the 2 rear posts interfere with it. So I can actually get it in there, but you'll see that it doesn't want to fit flush. It doesn't want to go down because they don't have holes in the bottom of the sight to accept the 2 rear posts. So there's a couple options for you. One, they do include a plate, and you put the plate on, and it actually marries up to all the holes and kind of covers them up. The plate's pretty tight, and then you can see how now you can drop the sight directly onto the MOS footprint, and it's tight and by design. And of course, you just screw it in and all that stuff, but there's basically what it would look like. The advantage is there's no modifications necessary. The disadvantage is that you cannot basically co-witness with factory height sights. It's almost there, but not quite. All right, so that's the one disadvantage. It doesn't sit quite as low as the other option we're about to talk about. So I'm going to take the plate off, and I'm going to show you another slide here from a customer. And what we do is we call it our retrofit option. So what we've done is we've gone in and we've actually milled away those last 2 posts right there. So now the 507K, the EPS Carry, and the new SCS Carry will fit directly onto the slide. And it fits low enough that you can actually see a very small, about say maybe 1/10 to 1/8 co-witness with factory height sights, which is a neat feature, all right, because you don't have to get suppressor height sights, which sometimes cover up the window. Although it's a pretty good option to do, to be honest. So that's one way to skin this cat, in a sense. Okay, the ability to mill away those bottom two is called our retrofit option. You send your slide to us, we mill them away, we refinish it, we send it back in 10 days or less, and then you can take your optic, whichever one it is, especially like I said, this new SCS Carry, and just drop it directly on there. And it sits a little bit lower. You can co-witness with factory sites. It kind of looks a little bit better too. So that's one neat option with this. Now this SCS Carry, it's got some unique features. It's green only, just like the standard SCS. So there's no red option as far as the actual circle dot. And that's another thing that it has. It has the circle dot technology, which I really like. Most of you know that Holosun is really the leader, or should I say the innovator of the circle dot. Circle, dot in the middle. Okay, now you can do dot only, circle only, or both by using the button on the side to kind of cycle through the program or the different reticle options. This button also is kind of like your on and off button, and it will do two things. One is it turns it on, but if you want it to be brighter, you just tap it again and it gets a little bit brighter, and I think it stays brighter for about 30 minutes. But one of the other neat features about this is it has a built-in sensor that kind of looks at the available light and will adjust the brightness based upon the available light. And it has a sensor that's kind of looking downrange a little bit as well as just ambient. It's actually very bright and very, should I say, very smart. Of course, Holosun is also known for the solar panel, and this one has the solar panel on top. You can get in close and see that. This is what they call their new improved solar panel, because the SCS and the SCS Carry don't have an external battery. A lot of people are going to say, well, where's the battery tray? Well, there's no battery tray. It's an internal, say, diode battery. It kind of is, it's always being charged with the solar panel. And that's the only way to charge it is with a solar panel. So it doesn't have a round, watch type battery that's going to charge it. All right, one of those flat disc batteries. That's, some people kind of like that because you don't have to be buying batteries. But again, you have to have some light to actually charge that internal battery at some point. And it'll hold the charge for, several days. Concept being that, you don't have to buy batteries. It's not a bad option. So now, I want to show you one other thing. A lot of people call us to be part of our 10-day optics program. And they say, hey, can you put the 507K, again, the same footprint as this new SCS Carry, can you put the 507K on my larger guns? And we say, yes, we can. So they send us their slide, and we'll cut the footprint exactly to fit the 507K, or now this EPS or the EPS Carry, because they all have the same footprint. And now, of course, this SCS Carry has the same footprint as well. But the people who have an MOS gun are kind of in a dilemma because the slide is already pre-cut. Here's a Glock 19, okay, Gen 5 MOS. You see the MOS plate. I'm going to go ahead and take that slide off. First, I want to go and make sure the gun is empty. Okay, no bullets inside. The magazine's empty. I'm going to go ahead and peek inside the slide. It too is empty. So pull the trigger in a safe direction. Now we can go ahead and kind of work on this gun. I'm going to use a number 5 Torx to take off the MOS cover plate. It's a plastic plate, and basically just going to unscrew it. Not too sexy here, but I wanted to show you the concept here. And a couple other things I want to talk about is that on this screw, as I take it out, this is the factory screw, there's going to be a little bit of blue thread locker. Thread locker also is kind of a generic term for the brand name Loctite. Most people have heard of Loctite. It's really important when installing an optic that you use Loctite. All right? We've had people who have received slide cuts from us, and we've Loctited them in, and they've taken it out and kind of want to look at it and play with it, and they put it back in, and then they go shoot, and the optic flies off. Now, is it our fault? Not necessarily. Okay, but what they should do, when you take that off and I put it back in, I should put another drop of Loctite on it. Because once you take it out, you kind of defeat the Loctite. If you look at this screw real closely, you'll see there is some blue thread locker on it. All right, so it may, and that's a big may, it may work, but to be safe, I would say that, if I'm going to go, install an optic here or install a plate here, I'm going to want to do a little bit more Loctite. Not a lot, just a little drop will do. Okay, it's real important. Now, this is the optic plate, just comes straight off. Kind of fits in there. A little bit loose, but it fits in there good, and it does what it's supposed to do. It just looks like it's there, because most people will throw these away. By the way, we do have a replacement for these that in case you lose yours, we do sell an MOS cover plate. Just because some people do the optic, and then they take it off, and they say, oh, well, I don't know, I can't find my cover plate, and so we do have a replacement for that. So there's a number here somewhere to tell you where it is. It's on our website. Okay, now, here's the Glock 19 Gen 5. It has the standard MOS footprint cutout. The 507K, the EPS Carry, the EPS, and now the new SCS Carry will not really fit in there. Okay, there's no place to screw it down. And so what we did here at the GlockStore, so we made a plate that's going to be able to accept the EPS Carry, the 507K, and the new SCS Carry on your full-size MOS with this adapter plate we call the K plate. Pretty creative, right? K plate. So this thing fits really tight. There it is. It's not really going to come out. All right, it's tight. It's basically a plate that is designed to allow you to install, oops, let me go right here like this, the EPS or EPS Carry or 507K or this new SCS onto your full-size MOS gun, which makes a lot of sense because you want this smaller optic. A lot of people say, you know, I really want to get, I want to have an optic, but I don't want it to be the big, 507C or the big RMR, because I'm going to put it in my inside the waistband holster, and it's just kind of bulky. Well, these are the answer, or the smaller ones. Now, this thing is so tight and so well machined that it actually is a press fit onto these two posts in the rear. Now, first of all, what I would do is I would use those screws, and I would actually attach the plate to the MOS. All right, that's the objective. And then, and again, we did talk about putting a little bit more Loctite on them. I'm going to take my optic and I'm going to go ahead and just press fit it down onto those two posts there. And there it is. And it fits like a glove. Now, I'm showing you the silver version. It is available in black, of course, but you'll see how beautifully machined and how nicely it fits. And it allows you to mount these smaller optics onto your full-size MOS gun. And there's a reason to do that because it's smaller and it's easier to manage. Now, again, you're really not going to get a true co-witness out of this thing with factory height sights. So if you want to do the co-witness, because we have that plate, it's about 0.5 inches, 0.05 inches, you would want to opt for some suppressor height sights. But it's a pretty tight looking package. You can see how we finished it out in the front there. And when it's in black, you won't even see it. It'll look like it just grew there. And that was the idea. So we did a pretty good job on the machining and the manufacturing and even the whole concept of this thing. And it really fits tightly. And so it's a way for you to mount, like I said, the smaller optic onto your full size with the new K plate. And that's what we're calling it. So there's a whole bunch of things about this optic world that are just changing every day. And we try to bring it to you because there's so much happening. But we are still doing the 10-day optics program. So if you have a Gen 3, Gen 4 gun that doesn't have the MOS, a Gen 5 gun that doesn't have the MOS, a 43X that doesn't have the MOS, you can send us your slide. We're going to mill it directly to the optic that you want. Now, if you say to us, I've got a Glock 19 and I want to put the MOS cutout in it. Okay, we'll do that. And then you can use the K plate or some other options, there. But typically we find that most people want to mill the slide for the optic that they're going to install so it fits directly to the plate and it gives you the best experience, because the lower that the red dot sits, the more pointable the gun is. Even though this sits pretty darn low, I'm still shooting downhill because the sight is way up here and the bore is down here. So when I mount this, I need to tilt down just a little bit. And that's one of the things people have to realize as you come up and mount the gun. When you mount with iron sights, you're up here. But if I want to see that rear sight and excuse me, the red dot, I want to tilt down just a little bit. I mean, that much. But that's what you want to learn how to do when you put an optic on your gun, is how to present the gun to the target, and it's already pre-aligned. The optic is where you expect it to be. Because when you come up with iron sights and you've practiced a whole bunch, you're going to be up here. Here I'm really basically, kind of lined up for iron sights. And if I want to see that optic, I got to tilt down just a little bit. So when I come up now, I want to be here. I want to learn how to be right there like that. All right? I want to have my hands come up and be down already in that position. So it's just a little learning curve, and that's really the main technique to learn how to use the optic is to be able to position that wrist as you come down, as you come up and present. It's down here versus up here, and that's the one thing about a Glock is really pointable. Now you just have to learn to point your finger just down just a little bit because you are shooting downhill. Again, because the sighting device is higher than the bore. So just keep that in mind when you go to the optic. All right, so if you're looking to mount an optic, we can definitely help in many different ways. This new K-plate is pretty cool. This new SCS Carry is very cool, okay? Internal battery, solar panel, circle dot, green. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's small enough for true carry. And that's the key factor to this whole conversation. I'm Lenny McGill. This, of course, is GlockStore.com here in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got a retail store that's incredible. We've got a shooting concept that's different than anything else. We don't shoot down lanes. We have shoot rooms in our Shoot 270 concept. And, of course, on the website, we've got every Glock piece and part you could ever imagine, both factory and aftermarket. And we're here to help you make your Glock a better situation, make you a better shooter, and to keep you safe and keep you sound and fight for freedom for America. I'm Lenny McGill. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.